Hi everyone, I'm Cynthia. Thank you so much for stopping by. Today I'm going to be sharing something that is of great interest to me in my yoga teaching and in my massage therapy practice, and that is how to keep your fascia healthy. So I've been a massage therapist for 11 years, and myofascial release, also known as MFR, is by far my favorite modality. It is the one that I feel helps my clients the most and lasts the longest. So I was inspired to embark on my yoga teacher journey because I had this chronic hip injury that wouldn't go away, and I was undergoing treatment from a chiropractor. I actually had a myofascial release therapist, and I still had this hip injury. What really helped put me over the edge was yoga, and that was that missing piece that I needed to heal. So for me, as a massage therapist, I see yoga through the lens of MFR. So I try to teach with the fascia in mind. And because of my interest in myofascial release, I'm always looking for ways to incorporate it and webinars that will help me find ways to incorporate it into my yoga teaching. So I found one. So exciting. If you're a yoga teacher and you have not discovered Yoga U Online, you have to be on Yoga U Online, because I found this webinar there, and it featured Tom Myers, who is one of the icons of the myofascial release world. He wrote a book called Anatomy Trains, and Dr. Robert Schleich, who was a researcher in myofascial tissue and fascia and how it affects the body and how it all works. So the information in this video was eye-opening for me. It was just really kind of turned everything I knew about fascia onto its ear, personally, professionally in my massage practice, and gave me this new insight into my yoga teaching, and that was just fabulous. And so everything in this video is what I got from information I got from the webinar, and also my own knowledge and experience in my massage therapy practice. But before we start all that stuff, I am going to give you some fascia fun facts. So let me really quick hang out. I'm gonna get my stuff because I've got my notes. May I push this little button? Okay, number one, fascia fun fact. Fascia is made up of primarily collagen fibers as well as elastin and reticulin fibers in a watery gel called ground substance. All of those are made by the cells in the body. Number two, fascia is sixotropic. It can change from a solid to a gel to liquid. Number three, fascia is our richest sensory organ. There are more nerve endings in the fascia than in skin or muscle. Number four, fascia is interconnected with all systems of the body. Fascial layers are meant to glide over each other effortlessly. Adhesions and restrictions in the system affect the whole system adversely and may be a key factor in growing stiffness and loss of mobility. Number five, myofascial restrictions do not show up in standard imaging tests. Number six, myofascial restrictions can produce pressure of about 2,000 pounds per square inch. 7, most injuries are fascial, particularly those that are chronic. 8, healthy fascia is soft, more liquid, fluid, and spongy, and takes the pressure off of all the other systems in the body, like nerves, capillaries, arteries, veins, and the lymph system, so that they can work optimally. Number 9, fascia is the most connective and connecting multidirectional tissue we have. It transmits and accommodates force throughout the system. It is described as a tensegrity structure, and it is aptly described by Tom Myers as a biological fabric that connects to every cell from the DNA to other tissues. And number 10, and the most mind-blowing idea that really flipped my world upside down, is that we have one muscle in a net of fascia separated by 600 fascial pockets. That was crazy. That one idea, that one concept, just really changed how I thought about the fascial system completely. So the prevailing wisdom is that movement keeps us and our fascial system healthy. And I just accepted that as being true. And then I found a webinar that explains why and how. And that just blew my mind so much that I had to make this video for you and for my clients. So while I was attending massage therapy school a million years ago, we were introduced to this really basic concept of ischemic pressure. So ischemic pressure as it relates to massage is the idea that as my hands are on tissue and pressure is applied, fluid is flushed out of that tissue. And when hands are removed from that tissue, fluid floods back in. So old fluid moves out, new fluid moves in, bringing in hydration and fresh nutrients. In essence, the tissue is being squeezed by massage and creates an exchange of fluid. When we move, that movement squeezes the tissue and creates the exchange of fluid to nourish and hydrate the tissues. So it goes like this. So if I reach up and bend over, this movement squeezes the tissues, and as I release, fluid comes back into the system. But when you're sedentary, there's very little of exchange of fluids, so the tissue gets dehydrated. Then the fascia gets sticky and adhesions form. Adhesions are stuck, dehydrated areas of tissue that can restrict movement and create issues elsewhere in the body. Tissue that is supposed to glide over each other gets stuck instead, and when it's stuck, it doesn't move as well and can inhibit your range of motion and cause pain. Another form of adhesion is scar tissue, which is a little bit different. The scars on your skin aren't just what you see on the surface. They can actually grow down and attach to tissue underneath. So this scar, it behaves like a quilt stitch so that the tissue can't move, and it can also prevent the tissue from gliding, causing a loss of range of motion, and again, pain. Adhesions keep you from moving fluidly, and that in turn can limit your range of motion and create injury elsewhere in the body. A sedentary lifestyle isn't the only way adhesions can form. Another way adhesions can form is with overuse, be it from work or over-exercising. Repetitive motion at work and over-exercising causes the tissue to get squeezed and squeezed and squeezed until all the water is squeezed out, causing dehydration in the tissue, and then the tissue gets sticky and adhesions form. The tissue doesn't get released, so there is no exchange of fluid, and the tissue doesn't soak up new water. Movement also has another function in maintaining healthy fascia. Movement helps to organize fascia. When the collagen and elastin are created and come out of the cells into the system, they are not able to organize in your body. Each molecule has a north end and a south end. With movement, the molecules organize in the direction of the line of tension. If there is no movement, the molecules just lay down every which way, and as a result, it has a felt-like appearance. While in some areas of the body that is ideal, the fascia in the muscles and ligaments are best organized along the lines of tension. With movement, the fascia organizes into a double lattice configuration, which is optimal for the muscle tissue. The lattice structure is strong and flexible. The lattice structure of this bag forms around the avocados. It forms around the object it contains and takes the shape of the object within it, much like the fascia that surrounds our muscles. So I read this interesting book during my yoga teacher training by Katie Bowman called Move Your DNA. And what really caught my attention is the overarching concept of the idea that movement or lack thereof creates the body you have now. She and Tom Myers also speak a lot about how movement and how the load placed on the muscles and fascia helps to shape the body. There are naturally areas of the body that don't move as much as other parts. So loading the muscles and fascia in different ways and different directions affects as much of your fascia as possible. Here, The most important thing is variety of movement. Variety of movement is so important. So going back to the idea that the fascia is a biological fabric, when you move in a set pattern, right, like an exercise routine that you do and you never change, you move the fascia in the same way. Since the fascia is a biological fabric, it can move in all directions. So to affect as much of your fascial system as possible, move in different ways. Instead of doing the same yoga or workout routine, find other activities to add into your repertoire, or change up your workout routine, or change out your yoga routine. So walk, hike, dance, which is my favorite, just mix it up. So I have a chiropractor, we have the most amazing discussions, and one of them is that we both have patients who think if they can't do their complete workout, then there's no point, so they do nothing at all. And I have to say that I too thought the same thing, and I've done the same thing. Nothing. So another key idea that we both encourage is to move throughout your day, not just your set workout times. So find periods during your workday to walk around or stretch, even if it's only for a few minutes. And when you think about it, if you take a 5-minute stretch break every hour in an 8-hour day, you would have a total of 40 minutes of movement or stretch time. Everything you do adds up and helps. What is really awesome is that it ends up that yoga is really good at keeping your fascia healthy, since it is a head-to-toe stretch, and it loads the muscles and the fascia in different ways and directions that you wouldn't ordinarily move in. Ultimately, movement is really important for keeping the fascia soft, fluid, and in a more liquid state, and not just for range of motion. If an adhesion can place 2,000 pounds of pressure where it is located, you can see the effect that pressure would have on all the other structures in your body, like nerves, capillaries, the lymphatic system, and even internal organs. Adhesions in the fascia, the biological fabric that connects every cell in the body, can affect your entire body. I hope you learned something new and are as inspired as I am to get moving and keep moving, stay hydrated, and stay organized. I am so happy you were able to join me. The best way to support my channel is to watch, like, and subscribe. Your support is so appreciated. Thank you so much. I'll see you in the next one.